Hello grade 3 learners! Welcome to another exciting science lesson. I am Teacher Conrado and I am delighted that you are joining me today through this video lesson. I hope you are comfortable and ready to learn. Before we begin, please prepare your science notebook, your pencil, and your eraser. You may also keep a sheet of paper beside you if you would like to write down important ideas while watching. Most importantly, prepare your gadget because after the lesson, you will answer a playground activity that will help you check your understanding of today's topic. As you watch this lesson, I encourage you to become an active learner. Even though we are not together in one classroom, you can still participate. Whenever I ask a question, pause for a moment, think carefully, observe the pictures on your screen, and try to answer before I explain. Today's lesson is all about the different ways people change solid materials into useful objects. Have you ever wondered how a carpenter makes a table? How does a potter make a flower pot? How does a simple piece of paper become a beautiful greeting card? Today, we will discover the answers together. So sit comfortably, pay close attention, and let's begin our exciting science adventure. Before we start learning something new, it is always important to know our learning goal. Let us read our objective together. Identify different ways solid materials can be changed, such as shaping, pressing, hammering, joining, and cutting. Now, let's understand what this objective means. Throughout this lesson, you will learn 5 different ways people change solid materials. You will identify each way correctly by looking at different objects and situations. You will also discover why people change materials and how these changes help us in our daily lives. As you watch, observe every picture carefully, listen to every explanation, think about each question before I explain the answer. By the end of this lesson, I am confident that you will be able to recognize whether a material is being shaped, pressed, hammered, joined, or cut. Let's begin our lesson. Before learning a new lesson, let us first recall what we studied previously. Reviewing helps us connect our previous knowledge to our new lesson. Let's begin with our first question. What are the physical properties of materials? Take a few seconds to think about your answer. Very good. Physical properties are the characteristics of materials that we can observe using our senses. Some materials are hard, some are soft, others are smooth, rough, shiny, dull, flexible, or stiff. These properties help us understand how materials can be used. Now, let's move to our second question. What are some materials hard while others are stretchable? Okay, different materials have different properties because they are made differently. For example, wood is naturally hard and strong. Rubber can stretch because it is flexible. Glass is smooth but can easily break if it falls. Cloth is soft and can be folded easily. Knowing these properties help people choose the right material for making useful objects. Now, let's answer our third review question. How do materials become useful? Excellent! Think about the chair you are sitting on. It did not become a chair by itself. Someone carefully changed the wood into the shape of a chair. The notebook that you are using was once plain paper before it was cut, arranged, and joined together. Materials become useful because people change them into different objects that meet our everyday needs. This idea connects directly to our lesson today. Now, let's carefully observe the pictures shown on your screen. Take your time. Look at every object. Notice its appearance. Think about how it was made. Our first question is, what are these objects made of? Great job! As you observe, you might notice that some objects are made of wood, others may be made of paper, some are made of clay, others may be plastic or metal. Different materials are used for different purposes. Now, let's think about another question. Can these materials be changed? Very good. The answer is yes. Almost every solid material can be changed. A piece of wood can become a chair, a lump of clay can become a flower pot, a sheet of paper can become a greeting card, a metal bar can become a spoon. Now, think about this question. How can these materials be changed? Excellent answer. People use different methods depending on the object they want to make. Some materials are shaped, some are pressed, some are hammered, some are joined together, others are cut. These different methods allow people to create many useful things that we use every day. Let's observe another set of pictures. This time, don't look at the finished object. Observe what the person is doing. Notice the action. Our first question is, what is happening in each picture? Look closely. Is the person cutting? Is someone using glue? Is someone using a hammer? Perhaps someone is pressing or shaping a material. Now, let's answer the second question. How does the material being changed? Observe carefully. Does the material become flatter? Does it change its shape? Does it become smaller? Is it connected to another material? Every action changes the material in a different way. Finally, let's answer our last question. What tool is being used? You may notice scissors, glue, a hammer, or a rolling pin. Each tool has its own special purpose. The correct tool helps people change materials safely and properly. Always remember that tools should be used carefully, especially sharp tools. Children should always ask an adult for help when using a dangerous tools. Today, we are going to learn the different ways solid materials can be changed to make useful objects. Everything around us started as simple materials. Before a wooden chair became a chair, someone measured the wood, cut it, joined the pieces together, and shaped it carefully. Before a flower pot became beautiful, it started as soft clay that was shaped and allowed to dry. Before your notebook was complete, paper was cut into pages, arranged properly, and joined together. This example shows us that people use different methods to change materials depending on the objects they want to create. Throughout this lesson, we will study 5 important ways of changing solid materials. These are shaping, pressing, hammering, joining, and cutting. Let's learn each one carefully. Let us begin with the first way of changing solid materials. This method is called shaping. The word shape refers to the form of an object. When people shape a material, they change its form into the object they want to create. Imagine holding a lump of flame. At first, it looks like an ordinary lump. When a potter presses and molds it with his hand, the clay slowly changes into a flower pot, a vase, or a bowl. Notice that the clay is not cut into pieces. Instead, its form is carefully changed. Another example is a baker preparing bread. Before bread is baked, the dough is soft. The baker shaped the dough into different forms before placing it inside the oven. Artists also shape modeling clay into animals, fruits, flowers, and many other designs. Whenever we change the form of a material without cutting it into pieces, we call it shaping. Remember this important idea. Shaping changes the form of a material into the desired shape. Our second method is called pressing. Pressing means applying force to make a material flatter or to change its thickness. Imagine making cookies. Before cutting the cookies shapes, the dough must first be flattened. A rolling pin is used to press the dough. As the rolling pin moves back and forth, the dough becomes thinner and flatter. Another example is ironing clothes. The hot iron presses the cloth to remove wrinkles, making it smooth and neat. People also press clay to make it flat before creating decorations or designs. Notice that pressing does not separate the materials into pieces. Instead, it changes how thick or flat the material becomes. So remember, pressing makes materials flatter or changes their thickness. Our third method is called hammering. Hammering means using a hammer to apply force to a material. Have you ever seen a carpenter build a table or repair a chair? The carpenter uses a hammer to drive nails into wood. The nails help hold different pieces of wood together. Metal workers also hammer metal to change its shape. A hammer is very useful because it helps people build strong and useful objects. However, a hammer should always be used carefully. Children should only use a hammer with the supervision of a parent, teacher, or another responsible adult. Remember, hammering uses force to shape materials or to drive nails into them. Our fourth method is called joining. Joining means connecting two or more materials together to create one object. There are many ways to join materials. People may use glue, tape, string, nails, or screws. For example, when making a greeting card, different decorations are attached using glue. When building a wooden table, carpenters join the wooden parts using nails. When making a photo frame from popsicle sticks, glue is used to connect the sticks together. Without joining, many useful objects could not be completed. Always remember, joining connects two or more materials together to make one useful object. The last method is called cutting. Cutting means dividing a material into smaller pieces or changing it into the desired size and shape. Think about paper flowers. Before decorating them, the paper must first be cut into petals. Carpenter would cut into the correct size before building furniture. Tailors cut cloth before sewing clothes. Cutting allows people to prepare materials so they fit perfectly into the object they want to create. Always remember to use scissors and other sharp tools carefully. Young children should always ask for help from an adult when using sharp tools. Now that we have learned the 5 different ways of changing solid materials, we are ready to apply what we have learned in the next activity. Now that we have finished discussing the 5 different ways of changing solid materials, it is time to apply what we have learned. This activity will help you determine whether you can identify the correct way of a material is changed. On your screen, you will see different situations. Your task is to identify whether material is changed by shaping, pressing, hammering, joining, or cutting. As each situation appears, I encourage you to read it carefully. Pay attention to the action words because they will help you identify the correct answer. If you need more time to think, you may pause this video. After giving you enough time to think, I will explain the correct answer and the reason why it is correct. Are you ready? Let's begin. Let's read the first situation. Maria uses scissors to make paper flowers. As you read the sentence, ask yourself this question. What is Maria using? The sentence tells us that Maria is using scissors. Now, think about what scissors do. Scissors divide paper into different sizes and shapes. Whenever scissors are used to separate or divide paper, the material is being cut. What is your answer? Very good. The correct answer is cutting. Remember, cutting divides material into smaller pieces or changes them into the desired shape. Now, let's continue to number 2. Ben uses glue to attach two pieces of cardboard. This time, pay attention to the word uses glue and attach. Glue is not used for cutting. Glue is used to connect two materials together. When two materials become one object, this process is called what? Excellent. Therefore, the correct answer is joining. Always remember that glue, tape, nails, and string are commonly used for joining materials. Let's continue. A carpenter drives a nail into wood using a hammer. Notice the important clue word. The sentence says hammer. A hammer is used to apply force and drive nails into wood. When a hammer is used, the process is called, very good, hammering. Hammering helps build furniture, shelves, houses, and many other useful objects. Now, let's read number 4. Anna molds clay into a bowl. The important clue word is molds. When clay is molded, its form changes into another object. It becomes a bowl instead of remaining a lump of clay. This process is called, very good, shaping. Remember, shaping changes the form of a material without cutting it into pieces. It simply changes the material into the object that people want to create. Now, let's answer our last situation. Carlo flattens dough with a rolling pin. Think about the action. The sentence tells us that Carlo is flattening the dough. What happens when dough becomes flatter? Its thickness changes. It becomes thinner. When force is applied to make a material flatter or thinner, that process is called what? Very good, pressing. The rolling pin presses the dough so it can easily be shaped into bread or cookies. Very good. Notice that every situation contains clue words. By carefully reading and observing these clues, it becomes easier to identify the correct way of changing solid materials. Before we move to our evaluation, let's review everything that we have learned today. Our lesson focused on the different ways people change solid materials to create useful objects. Let's remember the 5 methods once again. The first is shaping. Shaping changes the form of a material into the desired shape. The second is pressing. Pressing makes materials flatter or change their thickness. The third is hammering. Hammering uses force to shape materials or drive nails into them. Next, joining. Joining connects two or more materials together. Finally, cutting. Cutting divides materials into smaller pieces or changes them into different shapes. Now, think about the objects around your home. Your table, your chair, your notebook, your toys, your school bag, and many other objects were created because people use one or more of these methods. Science helps us understand how everyday objects are made. Whenever you see people making or repairing something, observe carefully. Can you identify whether they are shaping, pressing, hammering, joining, or cutting? Observation is one of the most important skills of every young scientist. It is now time to check your understanding. On the next slides, you will read different situations. Each situation has 4 possible answers. Read every choice carefully before deciding. Do not simply guess the answer. Instead, think about the action being described. Ask yourself, is the material being shaped? Is it being pressed? Is someone hammering it? Are two materials being joined together? Or is it being cut? If you need more thinking time, simply pause the video. After each question, I will explain why the correct answer is the best choice. Let's begin. Question number 1. Mia wants to make a greeting card in the shape of a heart. Which change should she do to the paper? Let's examine the situation carefully. The important clue is heart shape. Can paper become a heart by hammering it? No. Can pressing make it into a heart? No. Can joining make one sheet of paper become a heart? Not yet. To create the heart shape, Mia must first use scissors. She needs to remove the extra part of the paper until only the heart remains. Therefore, the correct answer is letter C, cut it. Cutting changes paper into the correct size and shape. Question number 2. Carlo is making a birdhouse. He needs to attach 2 pieces of wood together. Which chain should he use? Let's focus on the clue words. Attach 2 pieces together. When 2 materials are connected using nails or glue, this process is called joining. Although a hammer may be used to drive nails, the purpose of using nails is to join the pieces of wood. Therefore, the correct answer is letter B. Join the wood using nails or glue. Always remember that joining combines 2 or more materials to make one complete object. Question number 3. A potter wants to make a flower vase from clay. Which change should the potter do first? Let's think about how a vase is made. Before the clay becomes a vase, it must first be formed into its desired shape. The clay is carefully molded using the potter's hand or special tools. This process is called shaping. Therefore, the correct answer is letter B, shape the clay. Shaping changes the form of clay into beautiful and useful objects. Question number 4. Ben wants to make a paper airplane. Before folding it, he first cuts the paper into correct size. Why is cutting important? Let's understand the question. Why do people cut materials? Do they become harder? Do they become shiny? Do they become metal? Of course not. People cut materials so they become the correct size and shape needed for a project. Therefore, the correct answer is letter A. It changes the paper into the needed size and shape. Cutting helps prepare materials before they are used. Let's answer our final question. Your class is making a photo frame using popsicle sticks. Which combination of changes will help you finish the project? Think carefully. The popsicle sticks need to be connected together. Glue is used to join the sticks. Sometimes, decorations also need to be cut before attaching them. Therefore, the correct answer is letter C. Join the sticks with glue, then cut the decorations if needed. Excellent! You have now completed today's science lesson. Today, we learned that solid materials can be changed in 5 different ways: shaping, pressing, hammering, joining, and cutting. These methods help people create many useful objects that we use every day at home, in school, and in our community. As you go about your daily activities, try observing the objects around you. Think about how they are made. Can you identify which method was used? This is a great way to practice your science skills, even outside the classroom. Now, prepare your gadgets because it is time to answer your playground activity. Read each question carefully. Think before selecting your answer. Remember everything that we discussed in today's lesson and do your very best. Thank you for watching and learning with me today. This is Teacher Conrado V. Mapili Jr. Always remember, science helps us understand the world around us. The more we observe, the more we discover. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, keep learning, and see you in our next science lesson. Goodbye!